What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday, and welcome to the PHLY Sixers podcast, coming to you live from the Xfinity Lounge, as we are live from our studio here on a Friday, heading into the weekend. And we've got a 2-year anniversary that we need to say thank you to all of you for. First, Derek, Kyle, I'm Devon Bree, President of Basketball Operations, as we hang out with you. Folks, it's officially our 2-year anniversary, and we want to say thank you to all of you. We really appreciate the 2 years that we have been able to do this all with you as putting together this network here at PHLY, building out the PHLY Sixers show with the four of us, plus Rich and Roy, and we can't do it without you. We hope that we can do 2 more like this and make it even better this year with the season coming up here in now a couple of weeks, about 2.5 weeks as we get ready for Media Day and training camp right before they head to Abu Dhabi for
real
preseason
stuff
games.
Happening soon.
Yes. So we hope as we start off our new year, as we are on our 2-year anniversary, we hope that we're able to bring you the best Sixers coverage in the area, around the country, all of that cool stuff as we talk hoops with you. So thank you. As we are 2 years in the books. Officially, though, how many is it for me, Derek, since I was out for the first 3 months?
Eugene said it
is 21 months for you.
A year and a half anniversary for Devon.
It's not a half. It's more than a half.
No, let's be fair.
It's 3/4. 3/4. So there you go.
All right.
So in 3 more months, we do another celebration.
When you do the show by yourself on Christmas, you can celebrate your 2 years.
They're not playing, so I'm not doing it. So there's that. But we are coming to you from the Xfinity Lounge, presented by Rothman Orthopedics. Visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY and visit your local Ford store for our other presenter, and that is, of course, Built Ford Tough. 48 years, right, Kyle?
48
years.
In a row.
48 in a row. 48 in a row. But Kelly Oubre's not happy that you guys are talking about him not getting enough love.
If Kelly could hit 48 in a row, maybe people would be happy with him.
They would show him love?
Yeah.
All right.
If Kelly hit 48 in a row, he'd be the greatest basketball player in history.
All right. Well, listen, folks, we're going to tell you about Big Brothers Big Sisters a little bit later. We'll tell you about that. The Supporters Club, all that stuff, and some news and notes a little bit later in the show. But we have to start off with some of the things that have been floating around about Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond. We had mentioned a little bit earlier in the week that our friend Jake Fisher had some reports out there discussing a few things about the Sixers and some other things leading into the NBA season around the NBA. And one of the things that he talked about was the fact that Andre Drummond, Kelly Oubre, their names have been brought up in trade discussions. And how that may look. And we even talked about it the other day a little bit more with Kelly Oubre in particular, because while we were discussing the key pieces, starting 5 or the main 8 for this basketball team, Kelly Oubre was a big part of our conversation. For whatever you think of him, we thought that he would still, of course, be a big part of the rotation, top 6, top 8, certainly top 5, where we put him in the starting lineup. And with it, though, is it really a possibility for them at this stage of the offseason, so close to the start of the training camp? We've seen stranger things happen. Karl Anthony Towns traded right before training camp. We've seen it happen. James Harden traded right before the season started. All of that.
Jimmy Butler just a little bit into it.
Exactly. So with that and Kelly Oubre, what do you make of the conversation that's surrounding his name? And as we talked about yesterday, quite frankly, the importance of him for this basketball team.
I don't think there's anything there at this time. And let's even just take a step back. Let's not talk about sourcing, anything like that. Let's just go to logic.
Yeah.
There's no reason to trade Kelly now. Right now they are $21.9 million under that second apron. So theoretically, the only thing you would gain, you're not gaining any cap space. You're not getting anything like that. You're certainly not gaining the ability to use the bigger non-taxpayer mid-level. The only thing you could theoretically do is sign Quentin Grimes and maybe use a portion of that smaller taxpayer mid-level exception. That isn't going to get you a better player than Kelly Oubre Jr. There's just not many people still out there on the market. That second smaller taxpayer mid-level is 2 years, and I think it's like right around $12 million in total. You are not upgrading that spot now. And frankly, there's just not a lot of motivation from teams around the league to make trades now. So there's no real reason to go out there and try to pursue a trade for Kelly right now. I've said this time and time again, if Kelly gets traded, because I don't think it's impossible Kelly gets traded. If Kelly gets traded, I think it's towards the deadline when you know which direction you have to go in, right? Because you could trade him for one of two reasons. Either you're trying to get a long-term piece and you're using players like Kelly, like Drummond, maybe even like Quentin Grimes, who, theoretically would have to sign in this hypothetical, but theoretically Quentin Grimes to upgrade a roster spot and bring in a long-term contributor, or you're trading Kelly and Drummond to try to duck the luxury tax. You don't know which way you're going in now. There's no real reason to do that now. So I don't really think there's much to this outside of the fact that there's a logical conclusion to jump to that eventually they could try to move Kelly. There's just not really any reason for it to happen now.
Yeah. From asking around, I'm certainly not going to say Jake's sourcing is bad I think if discussions have happened with, I think Kelly specifically, that would have probably been earlier in the offseason for sure.
Where that would have happened, and we brought up Drummond specifically, they should look to get off of him.
Yeah.
But that's when you thought, hey, there's a reason you want to clear up cap space, and that would be to use that taxpayer mid-level exception.
Yeah.
You don't use that taxpayer. That's a priority in early July.
Right.
In mid-September, when you're literally 2 weeks away from the start of training camp and everybody is signed, there's just not that same reason.
Yeah, there is no urgency to be like, we got to get this money off the books because, we got to make this big move that's out there, and there is no move out there.
Yeah.
My understanding is that maybe there's something that drops out of the sky. You never say never, right? The trades can happen at any time. This is the group that's most likely going into media day and training camp and start of the season. If something comes out of left field, if they're on the phone with somebody about something completely unrelated and it's like, hey, do you want to turn Andre and Kelly into, better, high level starter type player, or just whatever you want to do with them, you pick up some picks, then maybe that becomes a conversation. I just don't see a world where right now there is any kind of activity or urgency for Kelly Oubre to get moved, right? For all the reasons that Derek laid out. And look, I think we've been pretty neutral on Kelly over the course of the last year or so, where I think we all acknowledge that he has flaws, but those flaws are more meaningful because he's a lot of times being asked to do stuff that he probably shouldn't be asked to do because guys are injured or out or whatever reason they're unavailable. And Kelly has acquitted himself well over the course of these last 2 years. I think he brings the right mentality to the team when he's on the floor. I think he's one of the guys last year that, as the season goes off the rails, remained competitive, remained engaged on the game-to-game stuff, right? And that's not easy to do when the team is clearly floundering, is without their best players, and has no real direction. So I understand where this stuff is coming from because I do think at different points in the offseason, other than your top guys, everyone's name is in theory on the table, right? You're just throwing out hey, what would it take to do X, Y, Z? What would it take to do this? But I think the idea that there are any, and this is not Jake saying this, right? Jake has framed the reporting as there are conversations that have happened. But I think in the game of whisper down the lane and telephone and aggregation, it becomes, they're actively shopping Kelly Oubre, and that is not the case, right? I think it has probably come up at some point, but he's more than likely in most scenarios, other than an outlier, going to be on the team, and we'll see what happens in January, February.
So Bree has the accomplishments up on the screen right now. Ranked second in the NBA in deflections per game, 1.5 steals, tied for third on the team, which is a career high. 19 games where he scored 20 or more points in 60 games played. He played 68 in their playoff year, the year before, when they were eliminated by the New York Knicks in that first round matchup. And he really started to buy into the role of being a two-way guy, but more so being one of which we know there's a pecking order in terms of the scoring, but defensively he took on a major responsibility of guarding the best player, perimeter player, on the opposite side, and did a pretty darn good job, I would say,
Yeah.
for what you asked of him, especially the players that we're talking about, that he had to get up there and defend and stay out of foul trouble and not get himself in, really tough spots. And not a lot of gambling. He would just play them straight up. And occasionally he would reach for things, and that's what you do. You see a basketball dribbling in front
Also
of you.
being asked
and
to
you
do
feel like
so,
you're
right?
doing it.
That's how Nick
what I'm
Nurse
saying.
wants
Yeah.
him to play.
Yeah, exactly. So with him doing that, he has done a pretty good job. He was rewarded with a 2-year deal, player option for that second year, which he eventually opted into once free agency got underway. And I think because of what he said, as I go back to Bree, I want to go back to what he said in that message that we had, where he talked about not feeling the love from the fan base. And I'll just read it again, just based on what he had to say. He said, "I love Philly, but the love doesn't seem to be reciprocated. What happened to this place?" Now, he went on to give out his stats that we just talked about, a 3-point percentage.
He played with the injury.
He had the injury on his strong hand, which is the shooting hand, the left hand, surgeries that he hasn't talked about. He just went out there and played. He wasn't making excuses of things that he has done over the course of these 2 years, going into year number 3. And he's wondering where the love. So, Kyle, I wanted to ask you guys, starting with you, what is his relationship with Sixer fans? Because like you said, we've been pretty fair. We've been pretty much in the middle. And when he plays well, we certainly give him the credit. It's nothing personal. If he plays bad, we point that out. But guess what? If he has 3 games in 1 week after that bad one, we talk about how important he was. What's his relationship, though, with the fan base after he feels like we all saw the post and why he said it, and we said, hey, man, don't worry about that stuff. Stay off. That's not really the entire fan base that's saying that. So what do you're at the games, number one, you're on social media, you see things, and what do you feel like his relationship with the fans is?
I mean, I think some of it is that he's probably feeling the wrath or the disappointment of fans, not specifically for him, but for the team, right? And he was one of the guys that was just out there all the time. Because he was healthy, he's available, he's starting, he's playing, a good amount of minutes last year. And I can't speak to his mindset, right? He would have to tell us directly, like, this is where it's coming from. It's something that I will probably ask him about in media day. Like, where is this rooted in? Is it people seeing you in the city? Is it social media? Is it rumors in the media? Like, whatever it might be. I think largely, from what I can tell, that the fans have embraced him, right? I think something as simple as he just has played hard and defended. I think most people will point to him and say, he's not the perfect player. They could maybe upgrade on Kelly Oubre if they make a trade, or if they had drafted a true wing rather than VJ this year. Like, there are paths where they could have gotten someone that either bump him down or out. But I think most people are probably pretty clear-eyed on him, right? He's been in the league for quite a long time now. What you see is kind of what you get. And as long as he's bringing the mentality that he has defensively, I think most people will just say, I'm okay if he's a flawed offensive player. Because, again, even the flawed offensive player, he's a guy that's capable on a random night of, hey, you went out there and scored 20, right? Like, we're banged up. We need him to step up, and he's going to score more. He even had some stretches last year where the playmaking was better than usual. And I'm not saying I'm expecting that to be any kind of consistent thing, but I think most people would look at him and say, he came here on a minimum, crossroads moment for his career for sure. Like, the league had looked at him and said, we just don't buy you as like a real guy anymore. That for whatever reason, right? The people think he's a good stats on a bad team guy. He's not bought in on the right things. And what he's done for the 2 years here is do what Nick Nurse and the coaching staff have asked of him, right? And so I don't see a real reason anyone can complain about that. You can want him to be a better shooter. You could hope that a player in that spot next to Maxey and Embiid and whoever just is like a cleaner fit. But those are not his problems, right? That's not Kelly Oubre is not going out there being like, I want to shoot 29% from 3. As far as controlling what he can control, I think most people see and would acknowledge he has done that the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I think probably, it's hard to answer that question because I don't really want to speak to Kelly. Like, he might have just been frustrated one night online, and that doesn't
Yeah.
really signify a bigger issue. I think probably most importantly is he seems to have a very good relationship, and he's expressed this specifically at the end of his first year with Nick Nurse. And the coach that you play for, that relationship is very important. You're never going to, especially, we've talked about this a bunch, like, the fan base has by and large turned on Joel Embiid, one of the 5 or 6 best players in franchise history, because he didn't bring home a title. If you're a role player, you're never going to have a 100% approval rating. It's just not realistic. I think Kelly is generally pretty well perceived among the fan base. I think the fan base enjoys watching him. Is he going to run into some people online or on the streets that are frustrated by him? Of course. He's imperfect. It's basketball. We all have opinions. A lot of them don't align. But I think his relationship with the coach, I think, is strong. Like I said, I don't think there's any real logical reason to be pursuing a trade at this time. So I think there's probably something where in 2 weeks when the basketball start bouncing, well, not that they haven't already because they come in for informal workouts, but when they officially start bouncing and they start getting ready to head on overseas, I don't think he'll be in a bad place.
Jesse Bond says, I'm pro Kelly. He's got clear flaws, but he plays hard and he's on the court. He's available. And that's the sentiment for a lot of people. Now, when things happen, like you said, he's imperfect. He has the flaws that Jesse points out. We discuss energy all the time when we would say, you got to bring Ricky Council into the game and inject some energy into this team. Kelly Oubre has that. Oftentimes is more positive than negative, but he does some things that will drive you crazy out there on the floor because, again, he's not a perfect player. But he is one that will go out there, and as we said, he's available. He played 60 games last year. He only played 60 games last year because the season was done, and we had our tank helmets, and we were all rooting for the same thing, and it went the way that it did. Otherwise, he would have played well over that 60 number, maybe even surpassed that 68 that he played the year before. And he's so important to this basketball team right now, though, Kyle, that when we were saying that, all right, what if Joel and Paul George are not available for the start of training camp for practice and all, and they run out the 5s, he's probably going to be, an important part of that 5. Whether, even if they were out there, he's still probably going to be the 5th starter on this basketball team because of his versatility as a defender and what he does on the two-way. He's fearless and all of that stuff. I saw Gene bring up Phil W. Where's Phil W? Making sure
Kelly
that
Oubre's agent.
Exactly. Where's Phil W? Making sure he talks about, but there's plenty of people saying that he'll be all right. Like Brian says, Kelly was just tripping for a minute. He will be all right. So
I think I generally agree with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
He was frustrated by something. He expressed his frustration. He's going to come into camp and he's going to get to work, and we'll see how it plays out and see what type of role he carves out with this basketball team. As Derek brought up, he loves Nick Nurse and called him a rock star as a coach.
He did.
And one thing that we also know is they will stand up and fight with each other when attacking the referees and being fined, because that was funny.
And I would say this too. It's not that Kelly is like the highest of high bars to clear as a wing, right? But
yeah,
he's a good enough player that these young guys who are coming in, VJ, to a lesser extent Jared, because there's not a lot of overlap in terms of who they guard and how they get on the floor. Justin Edwards, though, certainly. It's a vet that, like, you got to compete with this guy. You got to earn those minutes, right? And while I'm a big proponent of get these guys on the floor, get them as many reps as you can early, it's not always the greatest thing if it's just like they walk into a role and they feel complete and total security. Like, I know I'm going to play 30 plus minutes a night, no matter how poorly I'm playing, even if I miss a defensive rotation, even if my effort drops, right? And so having Kelly on the team, on the roster, and in a place where it's like, okay, VJ, we know what your reputation is as a competitor. And, obviously everyone thinks very highly of you right now and projecting into the future. But let's say there's a random game mid-December where he just takes 2-3 plays off, lets a guy beat him backdoor, doesn't rotate on a different play. Nick Nurse can go to him and be like, you're sitting down because Kelly is going to do the things that I want him to do, right? Like that's the value of vets to me, on top of the, learning the tricks of the trade and all that. You just want to have guys on the team that are good enough to foster competition. So it's not just like, hey, we drafted you, or hey, we signed you, and you get handed the keys to the kingdom right away, right? You want guys to have healthy competition. It makes them better in practice. It prepares them better for games. And it allows there to be coachable moments where you can pull a rookie aside and say, I'm not handing you this opportunity. You got to go and take it from, it's not necessarily just Kelly. It's obviously all up and down the roster. But I think that's valuable for a team that's trying to build a culture and bring young guys along.
And not only that, but like one thing that I think would be great for the development of VJ and Jared and everyone would be playing, high leverage games in April and, best case scenario, May. Like that would be great. And look, if Joel Embiid's healthy,
late May.
I don't know what basketball in late May looks like. Let's one step at a time. But if Joel Embiid's healthy, okay, maybe you don't need Kelly to get there. But if Joel Embiid just has not even one as bad as last year, but if he's playing 35, 40, 45 games, you need role players, veteran role players like Kelly to help get you to the postseason.
Yes.
So even if he's imperfect, even if, yes, to Kyle's point, you want him, players like VJ to beat and players like Kelly and earn those minutes, you also need help to get to those highest of leverage situations, to use the Brett Brown phrase that Kyle used yesterday, to expedite that birth certificate by playing in those minutes.
It is such an insane phrase.
He said it all the time.
The more I thought about it,
he said it all the time.
This is a real amalgamation.
I really, because Sixers only have a top 4 protected pick this year. I really don't want to be wearing tank helmets this year. I need a playoff
dark
push,
timeline if that happens.
and I think Kelly can help contribute to that.
Kelly Oubre, you're still here, buddy. Don't worry about it. We'll see you at media
Keep your head
day.
down. Get back to work. I know you know how to do that.
That is it. He is going to push these young guys, of course, because, hey, he's a vet. When this camp starts, they're going to have to steal that spot from him. Yeah. He is not going to hand anything to those young guys at all.
Here's the other side of it, right? If VJ is as good as they want him to be, and he just takes, you can always trade Kelly at the deadline, right? Like if it really gets to a point where there's just a crunch there, you lean toward the number 3 overall pick and you say, Kelly, thank you for your contributions here. You can go, we'll send you somewhere where maybe there's a bigger and better opportunity for you. And now you really lean into the young guys. If not, you still keep them around. And like either way, having him on the roster, I think, is a net positive for this season for sure.
And we've talked about fifth starter. Oftentimes we've talked about him being at his very best, a 6-man coming in and just being that guy's going to bring all that energy in. Of course, with the second unit, he's going to want to be the one, you know what, I'm going out there to score, and I'm going to get some points on the board. But on this team, he does fit a role, in a starting role, as a fifth starter out there, whether you call he or Grimes, whoever it might be, as that fifth starter. But he does fit that. He's done it pretty well, as we talked about. He played on a playoff team that took the Knicks to 6 games. We talked about that as it all played out in the moment. They could have won that series too. And he was a big piece of that, really buying into that role after that
Knicks
first year.
out there playing football during that series.
Still some interesting stuff that happened in that series. Like did Kyle Lowry pass the ball the right way, and was a foul called on that inbounds pass, and all that weird stuff that took place in that one. And of course, Joel Embiid getting hurt. Wasn't much you can do in trying to slow down Jalen Brunson as hot as he was in that series. Kelly did as best as anybody.
All right, thank you, Knicks correspondent, for your updates.
He wasn't there at that time.
I know.
So that's a little different. But we're going to take our first pause here. It's our 2-year anniversary, everybody. Tell us some of the best things that in the chat of what you feel happened during this PHLY Sixers show over the past 2 years.
Die Hard was the best moment of the show.
Was it?
The debate over whether it's a Christmas movie. Yeah.
It's the only time I've made Devon mad.
Yes.
At least that I have had to be a part of.
Kyle and
I'm sure I made him mad when he missed the flight home from Vegas.
Show it. Kyle and I can make each other mad whenever we want. It's a little tougher to get Devon going like
I
that.
took it all in stride, man. Coming home from Vegas.
Better person than I am.
I told you I wasn't leaving, team guy. I wasn't leaving. Just that's just the rule. All right, we come back. Let us know in the chat
What a wild
some of your
trip.
favorite moments from our 2-year anniversary here on the PHLY Sixers show. Don't exclude Bree. If you got something with Bree, let us know about Bree as well. She's the president of basketball operations. She makes it work. We'll come back. We'll keep the conversation going.
She missed that flight too.
She did miss that flight. I saw her face the whole
I'm not
time.
taking responsibility for her. I'll take for Devon.
Wait, hold on. She was on the same. I drove both of them.
I'm aware, but anyway, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus.
You guys should have left me behind.
Let's see.
Is
She
the
threw herself
moral
under
of
the
the
damn
story.
There you go.
You don't leave a man behind. We come back and we keep it going right here on this Friday
Oh,
PHLY Sixers podcast.
Guys, in not too long, you're going to go somewhere to watch Kelly Oubre play basketball, and you might end up at a friend's house. Every now and then you might get there and their setup is a complete disaster. Lagging, buffering, on multiple different TVs, and none of them work. That person may have claimed that they were a big fan, but you feel like you've been tricked. Because if you call yourself a basketball fan, you have to have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place, and the way that I watch, it's next level. I've got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K. It's so clear that it feels like I'm in the arena. Sometimes I've got 4 games going on once because we all want to keep up with the action. On top of that, I get real-time notifications and live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
And as always, I got to tell you about the wonderful Ford Explorer. That is America's all-time best-selling SUV, a legacy of family trust and performance. I always come back to the family trust because I grew up with a Ford Explorer in my household, all kinds of memories attached to it. My mom had the tan Ford Explorer. I don't even know if they make them in that
Had an
car anymore.
Expedition,
The
which
nice
they don't make
metal
anymore.
body. Oh, fancy boy with the bigger Expedition.
yeah.
The Ford Explorer, though, comes with 3 different powertrain options, including a hybrid for better fuel economy. Maybe you want that 2.3-liter EcoBoost i4 engine to get power with efficiency up to 300 horsepower. Maybe you want the 3-liter, the V6, get up to 400 horsepower. The hybrid model offers up to 500 miles of driving range, so you get a balance of power and economy. Obviously, the people who are in the car with you, you want them to be comfortable. You want them to have entertainment options. So you get CarPlay, you get Android Auto. There are available captain's chairs for the rear seat passengers. So they're nice and comfy as you're on the way to a destination. Maybe it's a concert. Maybe it's to the beach, a barbecue, whatever it might be. To the airport. If Devon is going to have anything to say about it. Wherever you might go, the Ford Explorer is built for families, but it's ready for adventure. It is a true do-it-all SUV. And by the way, has up to 87.8 cubic feet of cargo space when the rear seats are folded down. So if nobody else is in the car, you can haul a lot of stuff from A to B to Z, wherever you might need to go. For more information on the Ford Explorer, visit your local Ford store.
Ford Tough. Welcome to the PHLY Sixers podcast presented by Ford. Here on the show, we do want to tell you all about our partnership, the month of giving with BBBS. That is the Big Brothers, Big Sisters. And we are asking everyone, we focused on the donations last week. You guys came through for us. And we're asking this week, we've been asking all week to make sure you go out there and do some research and check out bbbs.org to check out everything on there about becoming a big, if you could. You see some of the graphics there that Bree has up on the screen. Just something as simple as being out there, being able to go out to a park or getting something to eat or helping with some homework, whatever it might be, celebrating all the people who have done so since 1904. This 120 years of mentorship. It's a lifetime of impact. The Big Brothers Big Sisters Month, celebrating over a century of connection and youth empowerment, what started as a little movement in 1904 has evolved into a big transformation of mentorship 120 years later. It's been a significant thought leader in mentorship and continues to evolve and have an impact and significant on young people's lives. So if you can, it's the weekend, you got done work early, You want to go check it out. You heard us discussing it. Sometimes things just slip your mind. Well, go check it out again, bbbs.org. Sign up, donate if you could while reading the literature to see if you have some time and some interest to become a big. And of course, it goes a very long way. Welcome back, everybody. I see some stuff there in the chat as I asked that question of give some favorite moments over the 2 years, the anniversary. Joaquin says, happy anniversary, y'all. Been in this chat since the start. When we were waiting for me to get there after my 3-month hiatus where Derek was keeping
That's
count.
what we're
Your
calling
no-show
it now,
job.
huh?
No-show job?
Yeah.
And what was the thing that you did?
I hope you got
Keeping count on
28 million
shows?
for your no-show job. Boy,
Oh,
that'd
yeah.
be a hustle.
I was tracking our days missed, and Devon had a pretty sizable lead.
I've caught up because I don't miss days here on the show. Let me see. Val says my favorite was meeting you all for the first time at Tiernanog. I remember that. That was the Jared McCain game against Orlando where we were like, they got no shot. We want to see him against Jalen Suggs and how he goes against that defense, how he holds up. Held up pretty good in that one, but that was fun. Val, Jess was sitting at that one table we met. The great couple, I remember they didn't want us to say their name, but they were really, really cool. What were they, professors?
Mm-hmm.
And they, and they hung out with us, had some great conversations there. Gene was there that night. We had a lot of people show up that night. That was really cool, hanging out at Tiernanog for that game against the Orlando Magic.
Hopefully they're playing meaningful basketball beyond November next year, and we can do more of that.
Mark Jackson just goes, go get him, Rick. That's always a fun moment.
We had to put,
and there were many of those.
We had to put that away now since he's with Brooklyn, no longer here. I don't know. Whatever. We might see something in the highlight play it one night, just in honor of Rick. Who knows? Randy Rubart, our guy Randy, says Kyle's random ethers.
I think there were a couple of those. Somebody else said the Kyle rants.
Somebody mentioned the one that you had specifically against the Denver.
No, that's the wrong one.
Oh.
That's the wrong one. That one was fine, but that's the wrong one. There's one that definitely clears
But that was the original one.
That was the OG
people
one,
were trying
yes.
to get me fired for that one, which we'll stay away from that one.
That was Provolone John saying the epic rant regarding the Nuggets did not choose chill that day.
Well,
no, that was not the king of the Kyle.
The funny part
rants.
about that Nuggets
Nice
rant
play right there.
was that the only reason it happened at all was because in the chat that night were like all these Nuggets people who were like throwing a parade because they beat Paul Reed and Patrick Beverly. It's like, bro, you guys squeaked out like an 8-point win over backups. So that was just you needle me. I'm coming over the top with a lead pipe and a pool cue and whatever else is within reaching distance. Don't come in here we're just trying to talk about the game amongst friends and family.
Yeah.
Here you come you want to talk some trash, be my guest. You're going to get it back. That's all.
Jesse Bond says the entire pre-draft Brian Pumper ace situation.
Where is look, I understand in the offseason you take a little bit of time off. We have not seen Brian Pumper in a long time. Has anybody seen him on, because I know he goes on a lot of other podcasts and leaves comments. Has anybody seen Brian Pumper anywhere? I'm getting a little bit worried.
APB on the pump, man.
I mean, we got the guy who lost a $500 bet that shows up more often than
Teacher
Brian
Got
Pumper.
Game has shown up recently.
Yeah, hope everything's all right with you and the wife and the kid.
Marcus says when Pumper disappeared after VJ's first Summer League game and showed up on Keith Pompey's chat on TV. He had to go somewhere that wasn't here.
Oh, man.
He's hanging out with Keith. Keith and Mark Farzetta, I think he was hanging out with. He knew he couldn't show his face in here after
What's Pump's go-to
how
podcast?
that game went down. I hope the Pump man is having a nice end to the offseason. I'm sure we'll see him at some point. First good Ace Bailey game in the
I'm
preseason.
sure, 100%.
He will be here. Him and Duck Holiday will be here to collect their debts.
Our buddy Jaden, thank you donating to the BBBSA.
We have Marcus join the supporters club as well.
Marcus joined the supporters club, so thank you. Jaden also said the 2024 draft live for the 16th pick, which turned out to be Jared McCain. at the garage. Being there with y'all was awesome. He helped us out as an intern that night. So we appreciate Jay for his for the work that he did. With
Always
us
nice
then.
having Jaden around.
Yeah, man, we got to get him back in here to come say what's up. I saw a few other ones that we did have in here. Oh man, I lost them because it's so much. Jeffrey Stewart said having B West come on the show. We can get B West on before the show starts. Before the
That was a
season
fun
starts again.
surprise the one day.
Yeah, and so we can get B West back on the show. He already said he would come on again, so we can do that. And yeah, let us know what else you might want as a part of the show as we get ready for the start of the season. I mean, some of the fun stuff I had, and I think it was just a thing in passing where Rich was like, "Man, we need to start wearing these tank helmets or something with that." And lo and behold, we get the helmets, and the helmets became part of the show. We gave them away on draft night.
We
I
did.
think it was
Yep.
on lottery night.
Didn't we sign them?
We signed
We did
them.
sign them, yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never felt more insane than if someone, and I'm happy to do it. Obviously,
Yeah.
like people wanted us to sign on those. Great. I think our good buddy Jay, right? Jay the Jungle, I think got
Yep.
one of them.
Yep.
But I don't know if I've ever felt more like what is this career that I have than signing a tank helmet was a weird one.
One guy had a Sam Hinkie temporary tattoo on his
Okay.
arm, and I signed that, and that was
Perfect.
definitely weirder. But yes, it was very weird.
Yeah. Gene says Bree doing the roll call better than all of you. There you go.
Oh, that's right. On the producer show, it was up to Bree to do the
Why
roll
would that
call.
don't know
surprise
about all
anyone, though?
that.
She's the GOAT. It shouldn't surprise you.
Listen, we don't ask for thumbs ups for Bree because they're charity. We're asking for thumbs up for Bree because
She's
the best and makes the show go.
Absolutely. Val says she hated the tank helmets. Boo to the tank
Look,
helmets.
they worked. They got VJ Edgecombe out of it.
She's consistent. She hated them. Guess
She
what,
did.
Val? We don't expect to have to wear those again this season. We better not.
Do you think
have
we
to wear
wanted to watch
those
garbage basketball for
again
4
this
months? Come
season.
on.
No, not
We
at
don't
all.
want that. We just tried to
Absolutely
make the
not.
best.
So look, as we get ready for our third season together here on the show, let us know if there's anything that you
Well,
would like.
Kyle and I's third season.
Well, all right, so I'm almost there. 3 months, I'll be there. Let us know what you, because it was
I don't think
December.
that's fair.
No, that's not
That's
fair.
like if a player misses the first 3 months due to injury, you don't say, "Well, he did." We're docking that against his
I didn't do a
season
Ben
total.
Simmons to sit out the rest of the year. I came back, and I felt like I came back here strong and tried to, fit in. I remember the first show, too. I was like, can't talk over these guys because I just got here, all that stuff. But no, it's been fun. But let us know as the season gets underway. If we have our segments that we do, let us know if there's any other things, not just for the pre and post game shows, but also the 3 p.m. shows that we'll have once or twice a week during the week when we have 3 or 4 games. But we will mix in, of course, our 3 p.m. shows. Let us know if there's anything that you want us to do as part of the show here.
I mean, that is a good point. Like, I will accept recommendations from the listeners because, quite frankly, like, we're a little out of practice covering games, not just because of the offseason, but we haven't covered like a real game since like
I think
December.
we'll be okay.
Been
I
12
think we'll
months
manage.
almost.
12 months it has been. So, all right. So, wanted to say thank you and read some of the things that you all brought up. Derek says Die Hard was one of the best things.
You were,
Do you remember?
You were so animated.
Remember when the commercial came out that Tyrese Maxey was in for Christmas and he looked like Willem Dafoe?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that because
That was funny.
I went into that blind and it just came up. And then it was like, oh, Tyrese's long lost relative, Willem Dafoe, in a Christmas commercial.
That was funny. Yeah, that was a funny one. It's not funny that they would.
No, it's obviously it's like I wish for Tyrese.
No,
that
I
he
mean the
had
fact that
gotten it
they're
right.
not playing again on Christmas because
Wow.
of how low they've sunk in terms of the eyes of the NBA.
Yeah.
Well, but we get a Christmas off.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm very happy about that.
We get all
gonna say,
FaceTime and just say
Christmas
what's up.
Eve off, Christmas off, New Year's Eve off.
They have a New Year's Day, right? Like pretty late
I
in the day.
think they're a New Year's
Yeah.
Day.
That's fine. I'm
West
fine with
Coast,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, folks. Final break. We come back. Maybe we'll bring back some other stuff that we need to talk about. We'll definitely do
20
news and
minutes
notes.
of discussion of the Nintendo Direct from this morning. Bree and I will talk about the new Yoshi game. That's
Bree, get
coming
ready to queue up some of the stuff we talked about pre-show because I know you got them all ready to go. We'll get to the news and notes a little bit later on this Friday. It's our 2-year anniversary, everybody. We can't thank you enough. When we come back, we'll talk about more and play a little little games here on the show as we close out a Friday, heading into the weekend on the PHLY Sixers podcast presented by it's our good people from Rothman. And the only reason I sighed there,
I was going to say, you sound so disappointed.
I was, man, because last night I was watching the football game, and as soon as it happened, I saw him on the left screen, part of the screen. I saw him just drop to the ground, and I knew exactly why Austin Eckler fell to the turf. And that was because he tore his Achilles. At least that's what I thought. And then Washington later on said that he had an Achilles injury. He wasn't going to return to the game. And it just brought back memories. So I felt bad for him. But I thought about Rothman Institute, of course, and the fact that you can, if you have a serious injury like that, you can go and get that corrected by Rothman because they are fantastic at what they've done. They've helped me out. They've helped many of you out. When one of my best friends tore his Achilles, he called me. He was like, guess what I just did? Tore his Achilles. And this was a year ago. But I told him to go to Rothman because, again, these are our folks, and this is exactly what they do. And you should if you need to get checked out. We've all been hiding the injuries from the summer, and it's what it is. You've just been hiding those injuries, and you don't want to ruin your summer by having to get things repaired. But because of it, you got to go get it checked out. So you do so with Rothman Orthopedics. It's not just year over year. Rothman consistently performs among the highest volume of hip, knee, shoulder, and ankle replacements in the country at over 60,000. I am one of them. And I felt bad for Austin Eckler as soon as it happened. So if it comes to x-rays, orthotics, bracing, MRIs, PT, and more, Rothman, they provide the full spectrum for their patients with every service and procedure necessary, such as the ones that I just laid out. So if pain is slowing you down this season and you need to get back out there, take the first step. Visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY and schedule your appointment today. Rothman Orthopedics. They're there. Your mobility, their mission. And that's also tell you about our good people from Parks Casino, because Parks Casino, I told you the other day, somebody said in the chat, I didn't know Dionne Warwick was still performing. Yes, she is. And I'm happy to let you know that she will be at Parks Casino, and you should go see Dionne Warwick at Parks Casino because it's going to be a fantastic show. She will be there on Friday, November 14th. Tomorrow, at Parks Casino, D-Ray Davis, Saturday, September 13th at Parks Casino, and on Saturday, December 6th, that's going to be Ken Jeong there, and you from Hangover fame. He's been in so many other movies like 40-Year-Old Virgin, so on and so forth. You know Ken Jeong. You know how funny he is. Go see him and stand up at Parks Casino. If you want to know how to get there, folks, it's very easy. All you have to do is get on the PA Turnpike, and when you do head on the PA Turnpike, you just simply exit off of I-95 on the PA Turnpike at Street Road, and bang, you're right there at Parks Casino for the Excite Center, where all of this great entertainment will be. The state-of-the-art entertainment venue located inside Parks Casino, named one of the best places in the country to see comedians and entertainers. So I've given you my experience there. It's been fantastic. Love seeing some acts there. Love doing shows from there. Love visiting the sports book, hitting the tables, hanging out at the beer garden. You can do all of that at Parks Casino. Parks Casino, this is how you win. You must be 21 and over. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Thank you so much, everybody, for that. Welcome back to the show, presented by Rothman Orthopedics and Ford Tough. Visit your local Ford store. I threw Bree off on that one because I was supposed to do it in the opposite way, but she's the best, and she made sure that it worked. That's why she's the president of basketball ops and the best producer as well. Quickly, before we get to some of the things that we want to throw out there as far as the games go, we got to tell you again about the Supporters Club. Who just signed up, Kyle?
Marcus did. We had a couple signups there. Marcus signed up for Supporters Club. We had, who was it? Kay Taylor.
Kay Taylor.
In the chat, signed up for Supporters Club.
All right, we rolled it out this week, and you're asking, what's Supporters Club on YouTube? Well, we have two tiers, $4.99, $14.99. With your membership, you get unique behind-the-scenes footage each week. We did ours. Who was it this week? Was it the Eagles that did it behind the scenes? I have to go check out the list. Yes, Bree says it's the Eagles. So us and the Eagles have our behind-the-scenes footage up there for the Supporters Club, and only you can see it. And that's because you signed up with either of the two tiers that we have, $4.99 or $14.99. We did ours. The Eagles did theirs. You also get some emojis that you can get, some personal emojis. You also get the SC. You saw that SC that was up on the screen that Bree had. You'll see that in the chat next to the name if you are a Supporters Club member. I saw I saw Kyle tweeting. I mean, messaging in the chat, and the SC is right there next to Kyle's name.
Yeah, man.
So that's how you get involved. You get involved by doing so. You get great access to different things that we're doing here at PHLY. So go sign up. Supporters Club on YouTube. Once again, for the real ones, you get true sicko level stuff when you become a Supporters Club member and access to the exclusive emojis with the 4, and then you build it out. And Kyle's been teasing the one for the Sixers, so you have to sign up to become a member to find out what that one is for our
Gotta have
show.
people keep joining. More emojis will keep dropping.
And you'll see what it looks like. We appreciate everybody for signing up to become a Supporters Club member. I love that it says Supporters Club established 25.
Yeah.
Cool.
Indeed.
It just established this year. All right, Bree.
Time for games.
Let's play some games with these guys here. Actually, I haven't seen these in months, and I never knew which people she was going to of Name That Guy. And, well, Bree, let's have some fun with the people, not only in the chat, but also with Derek and Kyle. And honestly, me too, because I have no idea, because I haven't seen these. Bree, what do you got?
Who knows at this point? Here we go.
Who's
Ooh.
that guy? Oh, we haven't played this one.
I
in
guess
a
these are the
while.
process edition
Yes,
folder.
this
So
is, yeah,
there we
whoa.
go.
Oh man. Not even a number to help us out. Is the
He probably played like 2 games in like 2014.
Ooh,
God.
I don't remember this one. Anybody?
What
Are
does
you
that
able
say?
to give
Is
us
that
a hint?
Does
Can we
that
get a
say
hint?
San Diego on his arm? It says San something, the tattoo.
It is. It does say San Diego.
All right, so he's probably from San Diego State, I'm guessing.
I mean, do you want initials? Like, would that help? Or is that like
Yes.
to give away?
What are the initials, Bray?
MT.
Malcolm
Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
that-
have never gotten that
I
just by
would-
looks.
No shot I would know that without the initial.
Yep.
There you go. Okay. Wow. Theo says crickets. That's exactly what it was on this one. Malcolm Thomas, San Diego State. Who is that guy from the Sixers during the rebuild era? Let's get to the next one, Bree. Wow, forgot about that.
He played 17 games for the Sixers.
Oh, is that Daniel Orton?
Yes, it is
Yeah.
Daniel Orton.
That one I knew immediately.
Yeah. Wow, look how big he looks in that one.
I feel
He was a
bad
big
on
guy.
behalf of Malcolm Thomas now because how many games did Daniel Orton play for
Not
them? And
many.
I was like,
I think like
that's him.
4. I think like 4, but I remember him from
That's
Kentucky.
him, officer.
Yeah.
It's Daniel Orton. That's like, knew it immediately.
Daniel Orton. By that time, he was a big dude
Yeah.
versus what he was coming out of Kentucky. Was he in OKC? Because we were like, they did
Yes.
it again.
He went like early second round, right? I think
Or late first.
So
and we were like,
he missed a year, and then he played for the Magic, the Thunder, and year 3 was with the Sixers.
Okay.
Now, played very sparingly with both the Magic and the Thunder,
and then he with
and
the
frankly, the
Sixers.
Sixers.
Like
He played 22 games.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Started 4 games.
Okay. I can see that.
I mean, on that team,
Yes,
anybody.
hand
could
your
do that.
jersey. Here you're starting.
Yeah. Gene says because we had 30 centers already. You needed another one. Daniel Orton. Hey, he was trying to
Collecting them like pogs or something.
strike gold, man. Let's get to the next one, Bree. There's 2 good ones right away. I forgot about these. Who's that guy?
Oh,
Georgia Tech.
Hold on, you knew the university right away?
I know.
You just looked at it. He's like, guy's got a Georgia Tech look.
He has the 3 names. Remember, he has the 2 last names. He has the 3 names. Damn it.
Like, are you talking about like a hyphen?
yeah, he's a hyphenated last name.
Oh,
Lefty.
Georgia Tech lefty.
Yeah.
really narrows it down.
Oh man.
No, but this one
I'm
is going to
blanking
piss me
on
off.
this one.
Yes.
Darius Johnson Odom.
Yes, it is. Darius Johnson Odom. Great pull, Gene.
Good job by Eugene Ross in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know your process Sixers.
Yes. He's really good in college.
Elliot
Elliot Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
Memphis. Elliot Williams.
Memphis, and wasn't he somewhere else before Memphis? Am I misremembering? Or am I confusing him with somebody else?
What is
I thought he was a transfer to.
transfer from? I think he. You know, immediately I'm going college.
It's Duke, right? He was at Duke.
Yeah.
You know why I remember this? I had this buddy I went to high school with who he was a huge Duke guy. I was a Carolina guy.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, he posted some thing on, back when people used Facebook, posted something on my Facebook wall that was like, can't wait for Elliott Williams to drop 30 on Carolina in the douche dome instead of the Dean Dome or whatever it's called. I was like, all right, man. And then he transferred out, and I was like, yeah, how's that Elliott Williams career going, pal?
Elliott Williams. Yeah.
So that one I will
He was
always
good at
remember him.
Memphis.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
And he would have been good at Duke. I think he transferred because he had like some family thing that he wanted to be.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember why. I think he something he wanted to be closer to home, if I remember correctly, or it was just easier to. Yeah, he's born in Memphis, so something with family, I think.
Marcus Blackstock says he's from Marquette. Is he talking about Darius?
Oh yeah, I'm still on Elliott Williams.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Darius Johnson-Odom, I think, was.
Was he Marquette? I thought he was Georgia Tech. That's my bad.
It's just wild
he just
how
had
like
that look.
it's just you had the school before you had
really
the
Straight
game.
to the
It
school.
was really funny. Yeah, he was at Marquette.
But it was Marquette. Thanks, Mark.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
So you didn't
Yeah,
have the
my
right
bad
school.
on that one.
You're just saying words.
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. It's Marquette. Thank you, Marcus. Let's get to the next one. We have more, right, Bree? Yeah.
Oh,
This Jarvis Varnado?
Yes.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a vet when the Sixers had him,
tornado.
though.
The tornado. Varnado.
Yeah, he was one that I think people were moderately excited about
Yeah.
at the time.
But what could he do well? He was just athletic.
He
Yeah.
was an athlete who I think in the G League was at least like, oh, he's a shot blocker.
Yeah.
And so he came here and it's like, well, maybe he can be a rotation.
He was
big.
in theory a switchable rim protector. Just
Yeah.
it was only in theory, and his offensive game was just not there.
Yeah. Okay. Jarvis Varnado. Got some more, Bree? All right. Because this is the process edition. Yeah, Kendall Marshall.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kendall Marshall. Yeah. Speaking of
North
Carolina Duke,
There you
baby.
go.
His injury in the going into the tournament is part of why I think Carolina didn't win the one year that they were,
I thought he
if
was
not
gonna be
the
good,
favorites,
too.
they were at least like a favorite.
I thought he was going to be good.
Well, so did Sam Hinkie because
Well, they
he
had-
partially got fired because he put so many eggs in the Kendall Marshall basket going into 2015.
Yeah, they thought he could
16.
replace Ish Smith, which I mean that's just a wild sentence to say. Like you failed to replace Ish Smith, so you ended up having to trade 2 second-round picks to get him back.
Ish was
But
so
yeah,
much
then
better.
TJ just completely stole that spot. And remember his dad didn't really take that all that well.
No. So, yeah, Kendall Marshall was he's going to be the kind of caretaker point guard this year, and he'll pass the ball to Jahlil Okafor, and boy, did that not work
Both ends
out
of that
well.
pick and roll
Part
tandem
of
did not work
yeah,
out.
part of his problem.
The slowest pick and roll combo in basketball history.
You guys got it though. When you talk about shooting, he just couldn't shoot, man.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
He was also slow.
He was one of the,
Yeah.
he's running in molasses at all
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Well, it's another 12. We know that.
Yeah, there it is. That's
I wish I was better with numbers. The irony of the math guy being horrible with jersey numbers.
There is something weird about that Devon is the jersey number guy. Who could it be?
And I can't, even with the jersey number, I can't.
Is it? Oh,
Did you just
look
it up?
I'm not going to say it. I did look it up because I was like, who are all the 12s?
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
even
doing the same
remember.
thing.
Because during that time, it
But now,
was
like, I see the
like
name
Bob
and I'm like,
Mute.
I should have remembered
Yeah,
that.
Bob Mute was a 12.
I knew Bob Mute wore it, and it's obviously not him. I was
Yeah.
just like, who? I thought he had it for a bit, so who could it have been?
Ready
Is that
Report says-
James Nunnally?
That is.
It
James
is
Nunnally.
indeed
I looked it
James
up.
Nunnally.
Oh man, you got.
Come on.
That's why I was waiting. I was trying to let Devon guess it. I wasn't going to say it.
He gets enough.
Oh, Ready Report says Lavoy Allen. That's not Lavoy Allen.
Mr. 500. No, it was not.
Yeah. Quickly though, we do have, as we have fun here, and let everybody know, we do want to say that we did have today, as we have a big takeaway. Presented by Xfinity, of course.
Big takeaway is, boy, this process lasted a long time.
And a
that's-
lot of players came through.
That's
too.
where I wanted to go, even though, we're having some fun here. So just for the couple of minutes, just the big takeaway is how far they have come, what they have done to find Embiid during that whole thing, and for him to turn into what he has done. But they ran through. I mean, Kyle, didn't we talk about this a while ago of just a number of players that
I think it was
the
101.
turnstile that
I think it
came
was
through
101
Philadelphia?
over 3 years. I think was the number. But that includes players like Karolinko who never played, but like 101 on the roster over 3 years.
Yeah,
Wild.
it's
wild.
That's an amazing number of players that just walk through and, hey, give me a jersey and some shorts and let's see what happens.
I always think of the Brett Brown talking about Tim Frazier specifically. We shake your hand. You're the starting point guard of the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm just like burned into my brain.
And the funny thing that I remember was the next day, I think I don't maybe I have the date wrong, but I remember as soon as it happened, he played a game. And I went to the Temple game.
That was like a bad JFK impression, by the way, that I just did, trying to imitate Brett Brown.
I went to a Temple game, and he was there with some people that we knew. So I'm sitting with him, and we're just talking about, to your point of, welcome, here's the playbook. Not even a playbook. Here's a basketball. Go out there and run this basketball team, a professional basketball team, and see what happens.
It honestly was so wild, right? Because most of these rebuilds, at least there's some level of consistency in terms of just throw these young guys out there every night and maybe they lose, but they're getting their reps in. It was a complete revolving door there for a while outside of a few guys.
That being said, though, like the theory of why you would have a revolving door, I don't think was completely misfounded. Like when Brian Colangelo took over, you had TJ McConnell, you had Robert Covington, you had Jeremy Grant, like all of these players who you gave like opportunity to and showed that they're NBA players. Now,
Val says, I had no expectations during that time and enjoyed watching.
I definitely had no expectations.
What is the big takeaway?
I actually enjoyed it.
I think we've
enjoyed
talked about this on the show. What was the ass kicking you remember the most? Because there are two that jump out at me.
The one that was Jerry Colangelo came in for against the Spurs.
Okay, so that was the second one. Number one with a bullet is always the Clippers game.
Okay.
Where there were like 3 consecutive insane Lob City plays. And one of them came, Michael Carter Williams tried to throw a pass that hit like the top of the backboard and the Clippers went the other way. And it was like Chris Paul off the glass, Blake Griffin through the legs dunk. And then like the very next play was a very similar, not on the Sixers end, but on the Clippers end.
DeAndre Jordan.
They just absolutely destroyed them and in humiliating fashion. And it's funny that it was the Clippers and the Spurs are the ones that always jump out because very different stylistically. Lob City Clippers are just like dunk, 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 lob. And the Spurs just out executed you to hell. It was like 17 passes before a 3 but 2 equal ass kickings from
body language
teams.
Gone.
Oh.
Yeah, just you could see it. And so with that, and looking back, 101 players, 2 memorable beatdowns from the Spurs and the Clippers. That's the biggest takeaway, the big takeaway presented by Xfinity here on the show. Man, how about that? Those were some times. Sometimes I remember when at that time fans were buying rows of seats in the second level, and they were like $4 a piece.
Yeah.
And it was just unbelievable.
For like a row.
Derek, is the Spurs game when Boban put Okafor in the torture rack to
when
end
he
the
like
game?
fake passed over his head.
Absolutely just toyed with him. That was probably like, obviously there were a lot of moments leading into that game that it was like, hey, maybe this Jahlil Okafor thing isn't going to work out. When Boban comes in for like the 2-minute victory cigar and just absolutely clowned on him, it was like, oh.
Well, I also remember
this is bad
because like that obviously became a bit of a meme there for a while, and I remember Jahlil talking about it and being like, "No, they told me we went over that play. They told me I played my role right." I'm like, "Buddy, if you're turning your head around when he's not even passing the ball and that's the right play, we've got issues."
I will say, for all his issues, Jahlil Okafor, really nice kid, nice guy, and like came back with other teams later, and always was very like, hey, how are you? Would like shake your hand, even though I said plenty of less than flattering things about him. So for all the issues that he had that year here, I do think that he's a good guy and want that noted in the record.
Theo says those last 2 years were just unreal brutal. The last 2 years. Well,
2015-16 then was like just gut punch after gut punch every single game.
Rough times. Well, no rough times here on the show. We still have fun with it, even though we had to talk about it. But it is overtime now at allphly.com. Thank you on the television side. TV Fast channel all week long. And today We'll see you on Monday at 3 p.m. Head on over to allphly.com for the rest. All right, Bree, one more, and then we'll get ready to do our news and notes and sign off and say goodbye to everybody for the weekend. One more for the road of who's that guy?
Oh,
Point guard.
the mask is throwing me off, though. Not a lot of guys that wear masks.
From the West Coast.
How do you get everything except the name?
I'm waiting after the Georgia Tech thing. Now I'm like, Devon's from the West Coast.
He's going to be from Long Island or something.
Like Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
I'm just thinking about the college. Thinking of college. Here. What's my man's name? I know.
Can we get the back on the screen? Is that possible?
Yeah, I need to look at this guy.
He wore
more.
number 7.
Oh my god!
How do you have everything except the dude's name?
It's got to be. Yeah,
You just said 101 players went through the area.
Oh my! Eugene says another guard that couldn't shoot. That's probably a safe bet.
Yeah, that doesn't narrow it down at all.
Ron's like his favorite food is cheesecake.
Wait, he was born in
Honestly,
LA.
have you guys
He
ever
actually
seen?
like Roscoe's Chicken
I know
and
Devon
Waffles.
probably hasn't. You guys know the show I Think You Should Leave? It's
Have
on
not.
Netflix. It's a sketch comedy show, and there's the game where they're playing charades as a group, right? And they all just submit people's names.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the names are like very normal celebrity games. The bit for the sketch is that one guy keeps submitting obscure jazz musicians, and that's Devon right now. He's like, oh yeah, Georgia Tech guy. His mother was an Olympian
Give
in
you guys some
1982.
keys. That's right.
He's giving
That's
these
not
ridiculous.
Alfred Payton, Theo. That is not Alfred Payton.
I'm stumped. I don't have this one.
And don't even say West Coast. I was thinking.
No, you were right about West Coast.
It's UCLA, I think. All right, but go ahead. We've.
Larry Drew?
No.
No.
Darius
Yeah.
Morris.
Darius Morris. Oh, I should have gotten that.
I just
one.
thought when you said UCLA, Larry Drew. Was he UCLA? Yeah, he was UCLA.
Yeah, he's a UCLA
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I was waiting for Bree to be like, he actually went to Florida A&M.
Maybe he
or
did. I
like-
don't know. I can't remember. But he is West Coast.
I think it was
guy.
Michigan. I just looked it up.
Uh,
Yeah,
Michigan?
U of Michigan. It says.
Was Darius? I don't even remember him there.
I don't know. Maybe Google's wrong.
Yeah. No, you're right.
No.
You're right. This was fun. I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't care. It's fun.
It's just that immediately your brain knows where they went to school. And
Yeah.
you're like, but I don't have any idea what this guy's name is yet.
all right. So
Honestly,
Bree
the
and
best
I-
part of that game is your thought process. Like, I like studying your thought process.
Yeah, so Bree and I put these together. You guys got to come up with something to try to stump me in the future because I've stumped myself since I haven't seen these in a while and could not figure it out. Bree, thank you. That was
Good job, Bree.
fun.
No
All right, let's
problem.
get to a couple of news and notes here on the way out. And let's start off, Bree, with the first one with the Knicks. You want to talk about that one? We talked about yesterday a Knicks signing, bringing back Landry Shamet. Well, we were talking about roster spots. Malcolm Brogdon signed a 1-year deal, according to Shams, to sign with the New York Knicks. And they have another guard. So between he and Shamet and who was the other one?
And this is non-guaranteed. I heard.
Was it?
Saw it reported yesterday.
Okay,
I believe.
I didn't see that.
I have to track down who reported that, but
Who was the shooter from Houston that they also signed? His was non-guaranteed.
Which coast did he live on?
Play for the Houston Rockets.
I'm
I
just-
don't remember what coast he's because I didn't see him much in college. I'll think about it. But what do you guys make of Malcolm Brogdon?
I mean, I think he's pretty clearly. It's hard to evaluate last year because garbage basketball.
yeah.
His shooting was terrible.
And he played for the Wizards.
Yeah, well,
So-
that's what garbage basketball.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I do think
Ian Begley reported non-guaranteed
Okay.
deal.
I do think his defense has taken a pretty heavy hit the last couple of years as injuries have mounted. And if that's the case, then the offense, like, you just don't have the margin for error to have a non-shooting year. But on a non-guaranteed minimum, like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's if he's willing to take a non-guaranteed deal, it's basically all upside, right?
Yeah.
'Cause that's nothing bad will happen out of having him on a non-guarantee. You see what him and Shaman have during training camp, and ultimately make a
Garrison
decision.
Matthews, the one from Houston. That's the other one.
Okay,
Yeah. So they're saying
You're
that
absurd.
he's on an Exhibit 10.
okay.
He's on an Exhibit 10, and they have to figure out, what's going on.
Yeah, it's listen.
Yeah.
Good for the Knicks
Yeah.
that they're getting guys who are willing to come in on this type of deal.
I mean, as
to
our next
fight for a
correspondent,
roster
what's
spot.
your thought?
Landry Shamet. I mean, Landry Shamet. We talked about yesterday. Cool with that. When this one having another veteran point guard behind Jalen Brunson, depending on how they work things out overall. Landry with Jordan Clarkson also there. I'm cool with it. Whatever, you know. Just don't do the stuff that we talked about.
I was going to say,
before.
careful about the politicking in the
That's what I was
locker
about-
room.
Just don't do that.
Don't be the
President,
president.
yeah.
Don't be the president.
Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, final one, Bree. Bree, you only have to play up to like the 12-second mark because they say some other stuff, even though it is overtime and you can say it. But on the Gilbert Arenas show, Tracy McGrady, of course, Hall of Famer, who is going to be part of the NBC broadcast, and he made it very clear that he probably shouldn't say this, but he said it anyway about All-Star Weekend. Yes.
That, so I don't know if you guys know, but I had a conversation with NBC. Sorry, NBC, if I'm not supposed to be
Not a
telling
great
this,
start,
but
buddy.
I think they're gonna have 101 at All-Star Weekend this year.
Let's go.
There you go, Bree. There you go.
Sorry for hurting everyone's ears.
So we just talked
the
about
only
All-Star.
All-Star event that matters. I pitched it the other day. They're already listening to me. That's real power.
As of 30 seconds ago, I thought that was a really good idea, but now I'm not sure.
But all right, so why is it a good idea? Because will they actually? Who is going to actually sign up to do this to get embarrassed?
Well, so
Young
that's
people,
the thing,
yeah.
right? That's getting people to sign up in the first place is the issue. Once they're out there, though,
the competitive.
you
nature.
cannot, like, there is no way to stumble through a one-on-one game, right? You
Yeah.
either are going out there to try to win or you're going to get humiliated. So I'm up for it as long as they can get guys to do it.
I do think
all in on this.
I do think it becomes like a dunk contest, though. It's just going to be
I
like
tend to
Mac
agree.
McClung and like a bunch of guys who, are
trying to make their name. Yeah, that
I
kind
would
of
say,
thing.
yeah, I would say you probably get a lot of the like sixth man type guys, like, who absolutely wants to be there. Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas, number
don't
one with
know,
a
man.
bullet.
I don't
He's
know.
like, Commissioner Silver, get me there now.
I don't think.
Sign me up now.
But that type of player, I agree with you. Yes.
I think those are the types that you'll get easy signups from.
Will you get them from the Kevin Durant names?
I hope so.
Yeah. Or actual, the All Stars.
They play. The thing that
And
drives
what's the
me crazy if
cool
they
money
don't
look
is they
like?
always play one-on-one. Anytime they have like Olympic practices and camps, anytime there's closed door settings, they'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on the line. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
It's like it's like a 21 little rough house. Just go out there, play. But it has to be, of course, there's going to be a financial thing attached to it where the winner gets a certain amount of money or whoever gets to the finals gets a certain amount of money. But yeah, All-Star. Can we also talk about Tracy McGrady saying, I probably shouldn't say this. Sorry, NBC.
So I'm gonna.
I mean, come on, man.
My wife does this thing all the time where she's like, "You're gonna think this is a bad idea," or "I know you're not gonna like this," and I always tell her, "It's like, just don't say that part."
When in the history
Just
of communication has that
give me
ever
the
worked?
news, give me the thing you're thinking, and I will determine whether I think it's a good or a bad idea. Once you preface it with that, you have to clear a much higher bar for me to think it was.
It's like telling your partner to calm down. It's never a good idea, and it never
absolutely
works.
not.
Guess what? Bad idea, Tracy McGrady, to do that and saying that out loud.
I appreciate
before.
that he gave us that news.
I
but-
appreciate it, but that you're gonna get another phone call from the execs and saying, "What are you doing, buddy?" And it's probably the NBA too. It's not even NBC. The NBA does not want that out there yet
Yeah.
until they tell you what's going on. And which Shams told us about the 3 teams of the 2 USA and the 1 World. They said nothing about All-Star Saturday night, and he just let the cat out of the bag. So there's that. All right. So those are the news and notes for the day. We appreciate everybody. Head into the weekend. Have a great weekend. Of course, let's get ready for the world famous the roll call.
Roll call to end the week. Thank you, everybody who is here, not just today, but the last 2 years we've been doing this. As Devon said earlier, let's do another 2. Make it bigger, make it better.
21
Certainly,
months.
hopefully the Sixers.
2 more?
are-
21 months.
21 months?
Oh my God, he still won't let it go. Time
I'm
heals
just
all
jealous,
wounds.
is what I am.
Devon, 2 years in my book for you. So. Thank you to Devon. Thank you to Derek. Thank you to Bree for being here on this 2-year journey. And hopefully we all can make the further journey together, we shall see. Thank you to Marcus. Thank you to Nona.
What up, Marcus? Thanks
you.
for correcting me too, Marcus. Marquette, thank you. My bad.
Thank you to Joaquin, to Val, to Jess, Jerry Sinclair, Jesse Bond, Jerome Evans, Mom's grandchildren. What up to Mom? Provolone John, Randy
Provolone
Rubart.
John.
Fill in later.
What up, Randy?
How about you fill it in now, my friend?
Fill it in now.
Time to fill it in now.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson, Jeffrey Stewart,
What up, Jeff?
Jaden. Shout out to Jaden.
What up, Jay?
Freddie Powell, Kay Taylor, Win Forever, T. Harris, RC, Jay of the
RC.
Jungle.
What up, Jay?
Be pump it up. Duck Holiday, Teacher Got Game. I had to mention the whole Ace Bailey contingent of chatters today. Marty Bones, Scott
What up, Bones?
Sotan, Say What?
Say what?
Haidar, Theo,
Oh,
Aaron,
What up, Aaron?
Habib,
Habib.
Rick Morse, Rick Sachs.
Go get him, Rick.
Go get him, Rick. And to close it out, I, Gavini, Will, and Darkness in the building.
Don't turn the lights down for us. We got 2 years in the books, and we're going to keep
Thank
it
you,
going.
everybody, for being here each and every day with us. We will be back Monday at 3 o'clock. Until then, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you get notifications each and every time we go live.
We need a new bell.
Sounds like the bell is cooked.
2 years.
Turn the
Hopefully
lights
not
down
a-
on the bell.
Hopefully not a metaphor. And please hit
We need
a
a new
thumbs
bell.
up on the way out to say thank you, super producer Bree,
Thank you, Bree.
the president of Basketball Ops, for making it happen, making the show better.
Thank you, Scott.
And also adding some levity so Derek and I don't kill each other, because, that might happen at some point. Hopefully further than 2 years from now. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good weekend. Take care of each other. Stay safe. See you Monday. Goodbye.
See you.
We all silly like the mayor.